A farmer had sown his fields with wheat, and year after year, he watched as flocks of cranes descended upon his land, devouring his grain and destroying his harvest. These greedy birds came each morning at dawn, feasting without restraint and leaving devastation in their wake. The farmer grew weary of losing his crops to these thieves. He tried many methods to drive them away: scarecrows, noisemakers, guards, but the clever cranes learned to avoid each new defense. At last, he decided upon a different approach. One evening, the farmer spread a great net across the field where the cranes fed most heavily. He concealed it with care and waited in hiding for the morning light. As the sun rose, the familiar flock arrived and began to feed, unaware of the trap beneath them. But they were not alone. A stork had joined them that morning, a graceful bird with white plumage and noble bearing. She was traveling on her long migration and had stopped only to take a few grains to strengthen herself for the journey ahead. Unlike the cranes, who tore at the wheat greedily and scattered grain wastefully as they gorged, the stork picked carefully, taking only what she needed and doing no harm to the growing stalks. The farmer saw his moment and pulled the cord. The net closed swiftly around the feeding birds, trapping cranes and stork together. The birds cried out as they struggled against the mesh. The farmer approached with satisfaction, pleased to have caught so many of the pests who had plagued him. But as he examined his catch, the stork called to him,
"Please, good farmer, surely there has been some mistake. I am a stork, not one of these thieving cranes. I was only resting here on my journey, taking a few grains for strength. I have done no harm to your fields."
The farmer looked at her more closely. Indeed, she was different, her feathers white where theirs were gray, her manner dignified where theirs was crude, her character plainly more noble.
You may be a stork and not a crane, but I found you in the midst of this thieving flock, eating my grain alongside them.
But surely you can see I am different. My intentions were innocent. I took only a little, harming nothing. These cranes have robbed you, but I have not.
The farmer shook his head gravely.
It may be true that you are better than they. Your manner is certainly more refined, and your heart may be more pure. But you were caught in their company, doing what they were doing, however different your reasons may have been.
He looked at her with regret, but spoke firmly.
When you choose to feed among thieves, you must share the fate of thieves. You may not have meant to be counted as one of them, but you put yourself in their midst. That choice has consequences.
The stork bowed her head, understanding at last the hard truth of his words.
I see now that I should have chosen more carefully where I rested and with whom I fed. Though my heart was innocent, my actions placed me among wrongdoers, and I must accept what comes of that.
The farmer dealt with all the captured birds as he must, though he did so without cruelty. And the lesson spread through the valley. Choose your companions with care, for you will be judged by the company you keep.